Hello and welcome to ETH Insights exclusive interview series. Today we have with us Mr. Vineet Jain. He is the CEO and co-founder of BlueRose Technologies. Mr. Jain, thank you for taking your time out and speaking to ETH Insights.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Let me begin by asking you, we're talking about generative AI. Now, how does generative AI enhance innovations and creativity with businesses? And more so with regards to BlueRose Technologies, if you can talk about it.
Okay. See, generative AI is a branch of artificial intelligence,
Right.
which is based on large language models, and it's used to create content.
Right.
What that means is that it can create any kind of content, whether it is text, images, videos, and things like that. Till date, most of the artificial intelligence systems, they were more analytical in nature. What that means is that you give them some problem, they will solve a problem as a backend problem, right? They were not meant for direct user consumptions. The first time that we are seeing systems which are directly interacting much with the end users, and they can generate content, responses for the end user,
Right.
which is a disruption because the previous systems are not able to do it. So previous systems are more back-end systems. The generative AI systems are more front-end systems. So it has opened a new arena for, let's say, software industry. In software, now we can give it like what our thoughts are, what I want to achieve in a given software, what is my business processes. I can explain that. Based on that, using generative AI tools, it can generate me a complete process flow for the software to be done. It can even generate code. Not only that, it can also generate the test code. So it can interact with the developer who can basically now take that input and refine their code. So it is becoming more interactive. Earlier it was all backend, right? So that's an immense power. What used to take like years for hundreds of people's team for develop the software, and that also you're not sure it will be successful or not. Now you can do with a very small team in a matter of weeks. It is helping companies innovate faster. At BRT, we are a big believer of generative AI. We have set up a center of excellence. We have hired PhDs, we have hired doctors, and we are building products of the future. Some of the products which we already built includes solution for the telecom operators. Telecom operators are struggling to make sure that they have the right customer representative, especially for the places in remote places where local language is a problem. And how do they provide that? So we have provided solutions which help them solve this problem with providing local language support as well as customer support. It has increased their customer satisfaction by more than 50%. It has reduced their cost, and more importantly, it has taken care of their operational challenges.
Right.
Another product which we have recently launched is basically for the pharmaceutical sector. As you know, there's a lot of data in pharmaceutical industry. So to analyze that data, and there's a lot of regulatory thing, there's a lot of research happening. Whatever data you are publishing, it has to be 100% accurate. You cannot have even 1% inaccuracy. It could lead to lawsuits, right? And big penalties from government.
Right.
So the product which we have built basically allows the pharmaceutical companies to provide accurate research and market data reports to be able to generate it, and that too in a matter of no time. Whereas earlier days, they need to have a big team
Right.
doing a lot of analysis and multiple iterations to produce those kind of reports.
Right.
And the third solution which we have got is basically on the customer support part across the industries, enhance the customer interaction, provide both pre and post sales responses, document the conversations, make a report out of it for compliance, provide better client satisfaction.
Right.
So BlueRose at the forefront of Gen AI. We are already built a number of products, and we are building next generation products for multiple use cases.
Right. Fantastic. You've just talked about the immense benefits of Gen AI. But Mr. Jain, while we talk about the benefits, we have seen that there have been concerns mainly with authenticity and misinformation with regards to Gen AI. How can organizations curb this?
See, as I mentioned, the Gen AI is a revolutionary nature.
Right.
And it is quite different. What humans were doing is now being done by computers. right? So it brings in an immense challenge. Our business processes, our systems, our laws, law enforcement agencies, they haven't thought about it
Right.
because it's something new. The earlier knee-jerk reaction was to block it, but this is something which cannot be controlled. It is going to happen. It is already happening. We
Right.
have to now, instead of curbing it, we need to embrace it. We need to figure out how do we make sure that people who are developing these tools and the content, they need to be held accountable for it. They need to have an ethical behavior. They need to understand the implication of it. It cannot be just for fun. Unless you put some penalty on it, the laws need to be changed so that people are held responsible, corporates are held responsible. There's a lot of human intervention which is required before you release these tools so that it is properly analyzed that what could be the implications out of this. So people developing tools need to be held responsible.
Right.
Laws need to be upgraded. Everybody needs to come together and work in a world whereby they know that this is going to be there, rather than assume that we can somehow block it.
Right, right. You've already talked about BlueRose's Gen AI solutions. Are there certain current trends you are seeing in the market with regards to Gen AI, or certain maybe technical revolutions with regards to Gen AI you want to talk about?
If you see the human history or human evolution, we went from cavemans to green revolution,
Right.
to industrial revolution, to having computing, internet, cloud,
Right.
automation, robotics, and the next is Gen AI. So it is not just a simple delta to the technologies. It is a new revolution. And with each revolution comes a lot of new things.
Right.
So this is going to change each and every industry, each and every way we live, we eat, we breathe, we work in all our life. You know, the way corporates are working, the way government is working, everything is going to change. I can guarantee you in the next 1 or 2 decades, whatever we are doing today, we will not be doing the same things.
Right.
We will have different kind of systems. Whatever is our understanding of technology, of machines, everything is going to change, right? So it's a big revolution. A lot of innovation is happening and it will happen. So we need to embrace it. It's a next step in the human evolution.
Right.
We should not be afraid of it, that it is going to make humans extinct, but it is something which we need to embrace and work towards adopting it, creating the right framework, as I just mentioned, in terms of accountability as well as laws and things like that, because it's a new tool. And you know, like if you give a gun to a kid and you just leave it like that, you don't know whom he will shoot. Right? Can't have kids roaming around with it.
Right.
You know, so we need to make sure that it is in the right hand. We need to make sure there are laws, and people will think twice before they do something wrong with these things.
Right.
I personally am very excited about it. I know there are challenges around it. I know there are concerns, but I feel that the world will embrace it in a big way, and it is going to make our lives better. But the more I think about it, I feel like jumping out of my chair.
Right.
You know, so it's a great thing happening.
Right.
And at BlueRose, we are basically at the forefront of it. We are going to bring out a lot of new solutions, and we are listening to the clients. We want to work with the clients who are looking at Gen AI and how can we adapt it to their systems for them to have a better systems, better processes, more savings from the operational as well as the capex perspective, and have better products and a better client satisfaction. We live in a democratic world whereby people are supreme. Okay, so you cannot have something which will go against people. In a small way, it's fine, but not in a larger way. Right? So we will find a solution.
Right.
We will find a solution so that humans are not replaced in a bigger way. Yes, there'll be some displacement, but no replacement.
Right. Very critical. So generative AI is here to stay. Humans will have to embrace it in a better way. Let me just deviate from generative AI to CSR activities. I believe BlueRose has been doing a lot of CSR activities. So if you can just talk about some of your initiatives with our audience.
See, at BlueRose, we realize the society has given us so much, right? So it's our duty to give back to society.
Right.
In India, we have a large rural population. I think we have great guys in rural India. See
Right.
so many sportsmen coming out from rural India who
Yeah.
are doing great. It's just that they're not getting the opportunity. And one other thing which is hindering them is education. So at BlueRose, we have taken a conscious decision to address rural education.
Right.
So what we have done, we have created a platform called eTeach India. Using that platform, we are basically helping rural kids get the right education,
Right.
pretty much free of cost, and they will be able to get on-demand education from 9th to 12th standard in local languages,
Right.
Which will help them kind of learn things, maybe go through competitive exam, get into a college, even while they are working, or because the schools are not good or teachers are not available, but they can still get a better education.
Right.
So we want to create a better India. We want to empower our rural kids. So as part of that, we have created eTeach India platform, which will enable kids to get good education.
Right. On that note, Mr. Jain, thank you very much for your precious time, and I'm sure it's a lot of learning for our audiences on Gen AI, and wish you all the best for all your future ventures. Thank you.
Thanks for coming down. My pleasure.